Guys, have you been told over and over again, just get outside your comfort zone, bro? That's where growth is, bro. Why aren't you out in your comfort zone, bro? Well, I've been through the ringer, and I just recently experienced me going outside the comfort zone. I want to share my experience about it for those who hesitate going outside their comfort zone. And hi, if you're new here, I'm Cahir. I'm here to take you one step closer to self-love. Now, I apologize if the audio sounds a little different. I don't have my usual setup, and I feel for me it's easier to make videos when I'm in the forest, high vibing, just talking to my phone right now. All right. So I think I made a video about this in general, but I'll reiterate. So I, in my early 20s, I started reading all this self-help stuff, and I was like, oh man, growth is outside your comfort zone. I gotta get out of my comfort zone. Ah! But the thing is, I didn't question, like, what are my values in making this decision? Because I would go out my comfort zone, but I would be suffering, and I wouldn't really experience the growth I was seeking. So, for example, you hear, especially us introverts, just go out more, bro. Especially in my early 20s when I didn't have really any friends. It's like, just go and meet people. Which I understand. It makes sense, right? Like, just go out. And so what I did is I would go to these expat meetings. It's called Warsaw Social. And you could say, sure, it's better to go out and go out to these meetings even though they're imperfect. But the thing is, if I would go back in time, I would say, hey Cahir, it's great. I understand you want to grow, but is this in alignment with values? Do you think you're gonna meet the people that you want to really meet? Because to be honest, yeah, it was easier for me because I live in Poland, and those expat meetings are in English. But I felt there was something out of alignment with that because I really do value Polish, the Polish language, Polish culture. Not saying there's anything wrong with having English speaking friends, which I had to deal with that belief for quite some time. But it was also just where would these meetups were bars, um, and that's not really my thing, man. Now I see when I made the change, like, okay, I value veganism. I celebrated being 10 years vegan in August. Yay me. And then I started doing these animal rights group meetups, and I actually stuck with it because, like, oh, these people are in alignment to my values. They have empathy. They're vegans. Of course, not every vegan. I didn't like every vegan there, but I liked most people there. It was a lot easier for me, and also, I did outreach in Polish, which was a huge step out of my comfort zone. Not to mention that I was afraid of conflict at all. And of course, with improv, which I value passion in my life. I love joy, making people laugh, and finding that avenue. And yeah, there were moments I would go outside my comfort zone. There's a lot of times, especially in the beginning, now I didn't want to show up for practice, but I did it anyway because it was in alignment with my values. I didn't suffer just for suffering's sake. Like, for example, in my first 3 years in living in Poland, of course, I took like lessons, and some of the teachers were just god awful, and I didn't have the guts to say, like, oh, I don't like these lessons. Eventually, some, for happenstance, are like, I would have an excuse like, oh, like, I have these classes now. I can't take. I didn't I didn't say like, oh, I don't like your teaching method or whatever. And I would sit through these Polish lessons that weren't good and be like, oh, I need to feel bad to grow, right? That suffering equals growth, and that's not always the case, guys. See, this is like, don't get me wrong. This is what I'm saying. I'll go deeper in the video about how I went on outside my comfort zone over the weekend and how it helped me grow. But I experienced a lot of just like going outside my comfort zone, just just to do it. Just like, oh yeah, I'm feeling so bad right now, but for what? What's the reason behind it, man? So my friend organized a trip to Mrągowo, which is like a very nice nature place in Poland, and it was actually like a kind of like a vegan camp out, 100% vegan. And but to be honest, I was kind of ignoring it because I'm like, I don't know, is that really my thing? Camping, uh, and I hesitated for weeks. I felt such a heavy energy, guys, even like thinking about buying the tickets. And I brought it up during Healthy Gamer. Link in the description if you wanna sign up for Healthy Gamer coaching. Highly recommend. I'm not affiliated yet. And I talked about I was hesitating. I was like, oh, I could do what because I during that time I felt like I really wanted to rest, and there probably something there. I think probably wanted relief from all this pressure I was giving myself, and my solution was originally, oh, well, maybe if I play games all weekend, I'll finally relax. But if I did that, I'd be missing out on this camping. And it might seem like a silly decision, but if you're anything like me, or like, I think all of us humans, we do value comfort. And I think comfort has served me, but it's also been a disservice where it keeps me stuck. And also, like I said, about these bad experience I had about going outside my comfort zone. But then they asked me, like, okay, Cahir, what are your values? Or we make decisions. There's like a hierarchy from shoulds, desires, duties, and values. And values is number one. It's like, well, are you going to meet any of your values? Well, there's going to be vegans. It's going to be 100% in Polish. It's going to be in a new place, which I also value. Discovery, adventure. It's going to be close to nature. Like, yeah. So it's going to be outside your comfort zone. But look at all this cool stuff you're going to get out of it. So I made the decision to go. And since I made such a late decision, I made some suboptimal actions. My actions, guys, were messy. I'm gonna go talk about that later in the video. But for example, so I don't know how it's in other countries, but in Poland, you can buy a guaranteed spot on the train. But if it's full, you can just buy a ticket and you'll just stand in the hallway. I think that and it's the worst in second class where you're like cramped in like a cattle car basically. You're just like can't move. It sucks. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get first class, which is only like 20 zloty more. It's not a huge difference. It's quieter, less people, but and there's a part of me that's like, oh, this is not perfect action. I don't know. I don't have a guaranteed spot. I'm gonna stand for 2 hours. See, my mind was making excuses not to go because the actions were perfect. But I did what I do, which I know I probably shouldn't. But I talked to AI about it, and it said, well, it's suboptimal, but it's gonna get you to your destination, isn't it? I'm like, oh man, AI, you're right. And so yeah, I was in first class. A little weird not having a seat, but I sat on my bag and put my back against the wall in the little hallway. Got out my book. I'm reading Joe Dispenza's book, How to Become Supernatural. Read like 25 pages. Quite good. It's Polish in Polish, by the way. And to be honest, guys, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Of course, yeah, I wish I booked in advance and I got an actual spot, but I made it. And there were some complications. I took the wrong bus and I got there at the campsite way later than I expected, but still, I got there. And the thing about going outside your comfort zone, there are challenges. And originally, when I went for Healthy Gamer, is for social anxiety. That was one of my big things, and I experienced it. because I only knew about 3 people. One person very well, 2 like somewhat. Like they were like familiar faces. We met like last year. And the rest of the people I didn't really know that well or at all. And I was feeling that familiar feeling of being inside my head, overthinking, seeing other people talk, and you're standing alone, you're not talking to anyone, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh. This is because, as you guys might know from my channel, since I'm Polish American, Polish is my second language. I always feel this awkwardness to introduce myself first. That hey, I'm from the States. You know, my Polish is my second language. No, don't judge me. Even though I've been living here for quite some time, I still feel it. But I talked about it, Healthy Gamer, and they were like, why don't you just lean into it? See what happens. Say like, oh, hey, I'm Cahir, I'm from the States, my parents are Polish. See what happens. I used to come up with this trick too that when someone would give me their name, like this person was Agata, and she's like, it's like hi, it's like what can you say your name again? Agata. I'm like, oh, Agata. Am I pronouncing it well? Because Polish is my second language. I'm from the States. I get it. I get it out of the way. Oh man, problems, man, foreign problems. Even though ancestry, Polish ancestry, parents. Oh. And that's the thing. I did my trick. It went like okay, but didn't talk for that long, and I felt bad. Like, oh, I'm so bad at these social interactions. Oh, but instead of letting myself fester, and this is the thing, when you go outside your comfort zone, just like in any video game, you're gonna encounter some enemies, and you're gonna get hit. There's gonna be some mental damage, and a lot like with me, what I would do is I would take mental damage, and I'll just keep letting it run, and until my HP went down, and I died. You know what I mean? But instead, I cast lay on hands, start healing myself. I start soothing myself. It's like, hey, it's okay, it's okay. I know how hard it is. And this is the thing about reparenting yourself, because there's this toxic masculine bullshit that says it's okay to talk to yourself this way, like, oh, you fucking pussy, oh, you can't even talk to someone, what's wrong with you? And really unhelpful language. So what? And I still had it. It was an automatic mind, but since I had the awareness of that I'm doing that, I was able to soothe myself and be like, shh, no, it's okay, it's okay. You did your best. You did your trick. It's okay. And I'm thinking, kind of strategically, okay, I'm in an uncomfortable situation. What can I do? I at least know one person. I know Yannick, very close friend of mine. He helped organize the trip. And I was like, I talked to Yannick. I'm like, oh, do you know anyone here? And I saw there was a pair of twins, and I'm a twin. And he said, and then he went up to them. He's like, oh, hey, did you know Cahir? He's got a twin too, and that got me talking to them. And then like through people were able to overhear, and he's like, oh, you're a twin. You're from the States. And I started feeling more comfortable. And this is the thing, of course, like I always want my Polish to be better, and there was moments where I was like, man, I said that in such a simple way, but this is the thing. For a while, I was thinking about that. I kind of went back to older habits. I was listening to a lot of English. I wasn't not going outside my comfort zone. I was quite inside my comfort bubble, and I was feeling like, I'm not sure this is serving me. I wanna, I had my Polish lessons. That's great. I actually had a short break of that, but I went back. But I had that break with my Polish lessons. I wasn't even reading like I usually do, and I was feeling a regression. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get outside this comfort zone and start speaking again. And that's where I was. I was in the trenches. I was where I said I want to be. And the thing is, it's going to be messy. It is going to be messy. And I think if you're like me, you think it's going to be ideal. It has to be ideal. Or if you make a mistake, it's the end of the world. But I think about it. This is where the true growth is. It's in the messiness. And to be okay that it's gonna be messy. And just a reminder, guys, if you like healing content like this, please subscribe. Really means a lot to me. Because now we're gonna go in the deeper stuff. What I say about messy. So, originally in my head, I planned that I would leave early on Sunday because I had my Pathfinder session at 1 p.m. So I'd have to wake up a little bit earlier, go take a bus to the train station, and then take a train back home. The thing is, it was my first time being there, and I went on the wrong stop. I missed the bus, and that awoke some fierce anger and self-attack inside of me. When I'm saying angry, I'm like calling myself really bad names, yelling at myself. The chemical, I was crashing out, as the Gen Zers say. However, as I was experiencing this crash out, there was this awareness inside of me like, do I really want to crash out? Is this such a big deal? And what I chose to do was walk, calm myself down a bit, and start thinking about like, okay, how can I make the most of this? Is this situation as bad as I'm thinking? Like, I was crashing out because this is a thing I think I have. A lot of maybe survivors of CPTSD have as well. As like things have to be perfect, and if it doesn't match the way you have in your head, you get really angry. And this is what I was doing. But since I had the awareness, like, oh, I'm crashing out, and this is why and this used to stop me from making videos because like, oh, I'm not this perfect, spiritual, calm person 100% of the time. And then when I see how like not realistic that is, and actually I could use this as a learning moment for myself and for you guys. That's why because what happened was I got squeezed. So Dr. Wayne Dyer says, when you squeeze an orange, what comes out? Orange juice, right? So what happens when you get squeezed? What comes out of you? And it's like, ooh, there's this animosity towards me. That's how you pronounce it. There's some like violence. There's some anger inside of me that I need to work on. And that's okay. And say, thank you for showing up. That I was crashing out over a small thing. And that I use this opportunity, right? What Bashar says, everything is inherently neutral. So how I define it, if I start defining it as a positive, like, okay, well, this will give me more time to spend with these awesome vegan people. This will give me time because they're also planning to go kayaking. I'll go kayaking. And the kayaking was okay. What's any time that's away from your phone and in nature, I think it is a good thing to do. It was a good exercise. Not my favorite thing in the world, but still. And I had some really great conversations with people that if I would have left earlier, I wouldn't have had those. I wouldn't have had deepened those relationships, which is important for me since I was inside my bubble, not really meeting people, and I really wanted to meet other vegans. But I was like, what actions can I take? And I took action. I was outside my comfort zone. And guess what? Other vegans, other amazing, great vegans. It was a nice experience. I could have been like the old version of Cahir and be like, oh, you fucking bitch. You missed the bus. How could you do that? Which I was reacting in the beginning. But even just having the awareness and steering that ship, even as I was crashing out and going towards self-soothing, that's what helped me out. And here's another thing. So I had a train at like 5:30, and we finished camping at we finished kayaking at 4, and it was going to be a very tight squeeze for me to get back to make that train. If everything went perfectly, I could have made it if the bus was on time. Bus was not on time. I was late by like 10 minutes. So I missed the train. You could say money in the mud, right? Just wasted. And I know there a few years ago I would have also been crashing out again. But this time I was thinking, what would the healthy parent inside of me, this reparented version of me, how would he react in this situation? And I said, you know what? I'd make the most of it. Let's get some unhealthy food, just this once. I got like a falafel sandwich with some big fries, which I never do. I'm gonna watch some YouTube while I charge my phone, and we're just gonna get on the next train. I know this might sound like reasonable things, but I just know myself and who I was and how I would crash out and keep crashing out on these negative things. And I feel growth is seeing yourself taking the actions when you know your past self would choose a different action, and seeing myself take this other action and make the best out of like a not so good situation. That for me is growth. That's taking steps towards self-love. So if I would go back in time to that version of Cahir that was going outside his comfort zone, I would say, look at your values. Is going outside your comfort zone meeting your values? Is it for some greater good? Is it matching up with who you want to be? And gently correct yourself, gently soothe yourself when inevitably you are going to take some hits, you're going to take some mental damage, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. That's how we grow. All right, I hope you guys enjoy that video. May the Holy Spirit light up your path wherever it takes you. Take care.